having a close relationship like you have with Guillermo del Toro, when did you first hear about this project?
I heard about the project because my dear friend Charlie Hunnam, who I do a TV series with called Sons of Anarchy, told me that he just got a phone call from Guillermo del Toro and that he was going to play the starring role in Pacific Rim. And I said, wow, that's incredible. Where's my phone call? And ultimately, it took a couple of months after all of the big decisions were made. He said, I have a little surprise waiting for you, my friend. And he sent me the script, and I read like 50 pages of it, and I forgot to ask what part I was looking at. So I called him up, and I said, what's the role you want me to be looking at? He said, Hannibal Chow. I said, no, really, what's the role you want me to be looking at? He said, Hannibal Chow. And I went, I don't think that was meant for me to play. But there you have it.
Let's talk about Hannibal Chow, who is quite a character. Who is this man?
Well, Hannibal Chow he's a war profiteer. He has fashioned a relationship with the government that enables him to harvest these fallen monsters once they've been destroyed for his own personal gain. And he has a coterie of very, very high-end collectors who like exotic things, kind of like the Freshman. And he's figured out a way to take the remains of these kaiju, these Godzillas, these creatures, and create so many revenue streams that it's insane. Basically what he is he's just a guy who will do anything for money. He has no political affiliations. He has no moral compass whatsoever. He's just a businessman. And he's ruthless. And it's in his best interests for this devastating situation that the world is in to continue, because the longer we're battling kaiju, the longer he's in business.
Seeing how he carries himself and the scenes that you have with Charlie Day and moments of humor that Guillermo has explained were important for him in the movie, it must have been a fun character to play.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. I don't know when the project first began to take shape if Hannibal Chow was meant to be played by a white Jew from Brooklyn. And yet here we all are having this lovely discussion. I think what happened with Guillermo was that he realized that this character, who is basically, he's kind of invented himself in order to figure out how he could supply the means necessary for his unending appetites. He's really a hedonist. He just loves money. He loves all the things that lifestyle can afford. And so, since he's somebody who invents a way for him to exist in a world of detritus and decay, he's also invented this persona for himself, which is something that only Guillermo probably would have thought to do. And so I was given this opportunity to free reign. It was like, we're going to make this guy into whoever he thinks he should be. The only things that we need to know about him are that he's ruthless and that it is in his best interest to keep the kaiju coming up out of the core of the earth.
The truth is, it's hard to imagine any other filmmaker than Guillermo del Toro for a movie like Pacific Rim.
Well, the halls of cinema are littered with performances and directorial contributions that were meant to be someone else's. So, a million people could have made Pacific Rim, but nobody could have made it like Guillermo. A million, there were, how many people were meant to play the Alec Guinness role in Bridge on the River Kwai? Cary Grant was playing the William Holden role, and Charles Lawton was playing the Alec. I mean, and you can imagine all those people doing credible, amazing work, but there's only one Alec Guinness, and that's when Guillermo puts his mark on a movie. It's not going to look like what anyone else would have done with the same material. So yes, it is. Having seen Pacific Rim, it's impossible to imagine it being done by anyone else.
You mentioned Charlie Hunnam before. What do you think he brought to that role, and what can you say about him? You know him well.
I know him well. He's a beautiful soul, and he's a very nice human being. He's a really nice guy, and that just comes through. There's something about him that makes him trustworthy. He also, happens to have this physicality that is, rather compelling. He's able to get in amazing condition and do, perform physical acts that vault him into the realm of heroic leading men. So he's a great choice for this film. He's a real hard worker. I know that the relationship that he had with Guillermo was sensational because Guillermo appreciates people who completely dedicate themselves and think about nothing else but giving this performance until the last shot is completed. And I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy that I got to witness this wonderful turn. This is going to probably transform the trajectory of his career. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.